When we have someone who's standing beside us that we can depend on, it makes us stronger, not weaker.
So is it okay for couples to need each other?
Well, the short answer is absolutely yes. I believe that we're wired for dependency and interdependency. I think when we hear the term something like codependency, that's completely different. That's when a relationship is unhealthy or it's out of balance. Maybe there's abuse or addictiveness or obsessive behavior or something else. But I believe that if we can ask for our needs to be met by somebody and we are bonding and we spend time together and we can honestly say that we can rely on and depend on our partners, that's a very, very positive thing, and that's part of a healthy relationship.
In a codependent relationship, one person is regulating their emotions based on the other person. In a loving relationship where people are needing each other and depending on each other, they're attuned to one another and they're responding to the other person. They're not working their own issues out. So neediness and dependency really is about how we can be ourselves and be with our partner at the same time. Mm-hmm. And that takes a certain level of maturity, emotional maturity, and also life experience. Some families are very connected and they reach out and they call each other every day and people check in, but other families are not like that. So some people's dependency needs are greater than another person's dependency needs. And the challenge for couples, you never quite know what that mix is going to be. So some people are more comfortable with a little bit of connection. Some people really like lots of connection and do everything. But couples have to learn how to make that dance work by how much time and how much closeness. And they actually resonate and modulate each other over time if they're paying attention to that.
I agree. I mean, I think that there are actually two basic motivations that we bring into a relationship. The first one is to motivate to connect. We want to feel close to with each other, we want to feel loved, we want to feel cherished and appreciated. We want to feel like we're on the same team. At the same time, we also want to be our own individual self. We want to do it with another person. We want to feel that just being me, the way I am with my uniqueness and my difference, could be received, could be welcomed, and actually even supported. And sometimes I think when relationship has, connection is dominant, but not enough also the individual side, you start to feel like you're missing something, like you're giving up something rather than you're being nourished by it. Mm-hmm. But when there's too much individuality, and I think when people say don't be needy, they mean too much individuality, you actually become lonely, you become disconnected. You're just two islands or like roommates living with each other rather than partners. Yeah. So you really, for an interdependent relationship, you really want to have both motivations supported at the same time.
It's interesting because people come into my office, into my institute, and they tell me, men and women tell me, I can't turn and ask my partner for caring and comfort and support and recognition, and because it's weak. I'm weak. I'm not really, and they will despise it. And what I tell people is, we know from science that those needs for comfort and connection are wired into your brain. And actually, when we have someone who's standing beside us that we can depend on, it makes us stronger, not weaker. The research is unassailable. We know, it's not an idea, it's a fact. We know that the strongest and most resilient of us, the ones who deal with stress better, the ones who go out into the environment and deal with the environment best, the ones who live longer, who are healthiest, are those who can turn to other people, ask for support, give support. That connection is a resource, it's a source of strength for us. It's not a weakness.
I think what's interesting about this conversation is that I don't know when Barbra Streisand did her song of people who need people, but people make a lot of fun of that, and so it's been 20, 30 years and we're still having this debate of, is it okay to be needy or to need another person? Why is it such an issue still to say, I need you?
Because it's scary.
Okay.
It's scary, and somehow we want to feel in control and feel like nothing can hurt me and I'm fine and nothing can throw me off balance, and you know, we don't want to be vulnerable.
And Melanie, I think part of what makes it difficult for people to ask for their needs to be met is we've developed patterns, we've been imprinted very early, and if some of the first relationships you've had with your parents when you're a child, if your needs weren't met, people learn to be very independent and very self-contained. And so then when they become adults, it may not seem as natural for them to go and ask for their needs to be met.
Right.
And sometimes they have to learn it and learn that it's okay. And in some of the therapy that we do with our couples, we're just teaching that. But the underlying part of it is that needing somebody is good and it's positive.
So the answer to the question, is it okay to need someone?
Yes.
Absolutely. And if you need help trying to understand why that feels uncomfortable for you, perhaps it is time to check out a therapist and see if there's someone who can help you understand that.
Yes.
Yeah.